Okay, here in our second video, we're going to plot the pressure. But before we do, let's first take a look at what I've done here through the 24th of February. You can take a moment, you can freeze the frame or pause it to see, to check your work and make sure that you got the points on the right spots. So just take a moment to do that. I'm going to move on because I know you can pause the video. Okay, so now we're going to move on to pressure, and I'm going to move this over now. We're going to talk about pressure, and it's the barometric pressure here, and it's measured in millibars. And and I'm also going to be using a ruler here, not for measuring, but just for lining up and to go across the chart to see where I need to place things. So if we look here on the right side of our data table, you can see the barometric pressure numbers. I'm going to try and center this as best I can for you. I'll be right there. I'm just going to make sure we're centered. Yeah, there we okay. All right. So as you can see on the right, we have our barometric pressure numbers here. And on our chart, we have numbers that match up with and even go in between some of those. Now notice that they progress by tens, starting with 960 millibars all the way up to 150 millibars. So now let's start by plotting these numbers. And we're going to use a dot. So instead of a bar type of graph for the pressure, we're going to use a line graph. Okay, so let's start off with the first number, and that is 1013. Okay, so I'm going to locate 1013 on this side of the graph, and I can see between 110 and 120, 1013 would be closer to 110. So now remember, we're not going up by fives now. We're going to go up by, up and down by tens. So now, I'm not actually putting the mark there. I'm just going to remember that it's at that spot, and I'm going to draw, not draw a line, but line up my ruler with that, and I'm going to place a dot right here in the center of the first day, lined up with 1013. So there it goes, right there. There's my first pressure dot. It's lined up in the center of the day, and representing an average, and it is also at the 1013 level, and here's the 1013 on this side. You can see that. Okay, now I'm going to go the next day. It's very close to that. It's 1012, so just slightly below that. So I'm going to then line that up at 1012. Should be just a tiny bit below. And put a dot right there. Make a nice big dot. Okay. The next day, it's on the 3rd, it was 1028. So let's find 1028 over here. Here's 1020. And you know, while we're at it, let's make those lines here, just like we did on the other side, to show where those numbers begin. Okay, so now getting back to our number, 1028. It's slightly below 1030. Now I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm going to go all the way across, keeping it nice and level, parallel to the 1030 line. I'm going to hold that ruler parallel to it, and then I'm going to find the day that it is. It's on the 3rd. So I'm going to put a dot in the middle of the 3rd, right in line with 1028. And there it is. Okay. So now, let's go to the next one, 1015. Okay, we know that's going to be right in the center between 1010 and 1020. So I'll find that spot there, and then I am going to line up my ruler, and on the 4th of February, I'm going to put that dot right in the middle. Nice big dot. Okay, now I'm going to 1010. Okay, so that's an easy one, right? It's right on the 1010 line, but I'm still going to use my ruler because I know that your eyes can be drawn away to the wrong spot. So, and I'm going to put it right, yeah, it's on that day, the temperature was right on the line too. So, the dot goes right on there. Okay, now the next day, 1029. So let's look. That's going to be slightly below 1030, right? Okay, and that is on the 6th. So right, I have lined up my ruler slightly below. There's the 1029. Now I'm going to go to 1021 for the 7th of February. So there's 1020. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line it up right there. Here's the 7th and line it up right there. Okay. 1021 millibars. Okay, let's go to 1025. Like you suspect, it's going to be where? Right in the middle between 1020 and 1030. So I can see. Now, if you don't want to use the ruler, you can use your hand and just go across, knowing that it's in the middle. Go right there. Okay, another technique. Okay, the next one is 1034. Okay, so since I know this is 25 and this is 30, here's another technique. I can jump up beyond 1030, and I know it's not quite halfway, so I'm going to put the dot right there. Now 1022, that's going to be a jump down, so I think I'm going to go back to using my ruler so I don't get confused. And I'm going to go down to this one right here. Okay, and it would be right about there. It's just above 120. Oh, I'm on the wrong day. Okay, so I'm going to move it over. And look, it's going to be lined up with with one of the temperatures there. Okay, there we go. It's a good thing we have erasers, huh? Okay. Let's go to 1016 on the 11th. Okay, so here's the 11th. It's 10, 11, and it's 1016. So I'm going to use that ruler again so my eyes don't fool me here. And so, isn't that interesting? Let's see, that's on the 11th, and it's 1016. Okay, so 11th, 1016. Slightly above the halfway point. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the camera and the video, and I'm going to finish the rest. I'd like you to finish the rest, and then when we come back on the next video, you can see how you did.